In the growing struggle against obesity, many well-meaning efforts focus on cutting out specific foods or following restrictive diets, yet one of the most quietly powerful forces fueling the epidemic remains largely unaddressed: a widespread lack of food education and nutritional awareness. Many people simply do not understand what they are eating, how much they're eating, or how their daily food choices affect long-term health. In the absence of accurate, accessible education, even the most motivated individuals are left vulnerable to misleading food marketing, portion distortion, and habitual overconsumption, often without even realizing it. This disconnect begins early. Most schools offer little to no practical nutrition education, and what is taught is often outdated, oversimplified, or framed in fear-based language that categorizes foods as either good or bad. Few children learn how to read food labels, how to recognize appropriate serving sizes, or how to plan meals that are balanced, satisfying, and nutritionally complete. As a result, many adults grow up with little understanding of how food affects energy levels, metabolism, mood, or weight. They may genuinely believe they're eating healthy simply because a product is labeled natural, low-fat, or gluten-free, even if it's high in sugar, calories, or ultra-processed ingredients. One of the most critical areas of confusion is portion size. Over the past several decades, standard portion sizes in restaurants, packaged foods, and even home cooking have ballooned. A plate of pasta today might contain 3 to 4 servings by dietary standards, yet it's presented as a single meal. People rarely measure or track what they eat, not out of laziness, but because they lack a realistic reference point for what a serving looks like. This unawareness leads to unintentional caloric overload, especially when high-calorie foods are consumed in generous portions under the assumption that a little more won't hurt. Food labels, while theoretically informative, are often misinterpreted or ignored. Serving sizes are not standardized across products and are frequently listed in misleading units, e.g., 2/3 cup, about 13 chips, or per 100 grams, that make it hard to assess how much one is actually consuming. Many people don't realize that a seemingly small snack can contain several servings, or that a beverage labeled as 100 calories per serving might have 3 servings per bottle. Without the ability to decode this information or relate it to real dietary needs, people are left to guess, and those guesses are typically generous. Complicating matters further is the psychological environment shaped by food marketing and cultural habits. Advertisements emphasize taste, indulgence, and convenience, often using health buzzwords to downplay the reality of what's inside the package. Words like wholesome, light, or superfood create a false sense of security that encourages overconsumption. And because so many people now eat while distracted in front of screens, in cars, or while working, they lose the ability to eat with awareness, to recognize satiety cues, or to reflect on how different foods make them feel. This lack of awareness isn't just a personal problem, it's a systemic one. Governments, schools, and health systems have largely failed to make nutritional knowledge a core life skill. Instead of equipping people to make informed choices, the focus remains on short-term diets, demonizing specific ingredients, or pushing calorie counts without context. As a result, people may count calories without understanding nutrient quality, or obsess over grams of fat without recognizing the importance of fiber, protein, and micronutrients. This fragmented view of nutrition fuels confusion, anxiety, and yo-yo dieting, all of which can further disrupt metabolism and promote weight gain over time. The warning here is clear: you cannot manage what you do not understand. Without a solid foundation of food literacy, people are left susceptible to both overconsumption and nutritional deficiencies, sometimes simultaneously. It's entirely possible and sadly common for someone to be overweight and malnourished at the same time, full of calories but starved of essential vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients. This imbalance increases inflammation, disrupts hormones, impairs energy regulation, and makes future weight loss even harder. However, there's a hopeful side to this reality. Food education is one of the most empowering and cost-effective tools we have in reversing obesity. When people understand what they're eating, not just the calories, but the nutritional value, the portion size, and the metabolic impact, they can begin making choices that align with their individual needs. Education helps restore trust in the body's signals, cultivates mindful eating habits, and builds confidence in navigating a complex food environment. Simple yet powerful shifts can make a significant difference. Learning how to eyeball portion sizes using the hand or plate method, understanding how protein, fiber, and fat affect satiety, reading labels with a critical eye, becoming aware of how certain foods influence energy, mood, and digestion. These skills don't require perfection, they require attention, and attention is the first step toward lasting change. In conclusion, lack of food education isn't just a side issue in the obesity crisis, it's a central factor. When people misjudge how much they eat, misinterpret what they eat, and don't understand why it matters, their choices, even when well-intentioned, can quietly lead to weight gain and metabolic stress. To treat obesity effectively, we must move beyond blaming willpower or obsessing over single nutrients and start building a culture of food literacy, awareness, and informed decision-making. Because when people finally see what they're eating clearly and truthfully, they're far more capable of changing it.